This is Valet Junction, Quebec, about 7.5 hours from us. This track is like super steep banks, major wall on one corner, like very fast, ton of grip. And I just did a couple laps for the first time. Jack just got here. Things are going okay. We had a few things to fix on the car, so now I think we did a couple laps where we didn't have any issues. Now we're gonna go out for pro practice, and based on people watching, we're in the right area. Basically, we're not doing any handbrake, which everyone else is. I know you guys have heard this story before in Hungary, but with the bank track, you really don't need it. All it does is reduce momentum, so I'm gonna go this practice, no handbrake at all, see how that goes. Otherwise, we had a bit of an oil leak, very minor, but the valve cover bolt popped out, so we're tightening all that, just checking everything out before we go on the track again. So yeah, it's gonna be another good video of DMCC, give you guys an eye on what these things are like. Everyone's got quick changes, everyone's got stackers, and everyone's got a ton of horsepower, a lot of 2Js. So showing everyone what's going on here is interesting because no one else really knows that this series even exists, and a lot of these guys could compete with FD guys, no problem. It's fun. That's it.
Yeah.
How was that? It was very mushy. Like it felt like I hit a big pillow.
Yeah, how you feeling, dude?
Okay, practice over.
How you feeling?
We got our crash out of the way. Good thing, because Ricky Craig flipped at that corner. Lots of people crashed. He snapped his knuckle in half. OEM knuckle snapped it in half. And I went up and it wasn't that bad. So I got it out of the way. Now I'm not scared of it. Because when you're running that super high line, it just goes flat and then it goes down into like dirt and a hill. So I went off and into the dirt, but it felt like I jumped into a pillow. So fortunately it was pretty easy. The rest of the practice, we increased wheel speed 10 kilometers an hour, made a huge difference. That's like, you can really not explain to someone why a quick change is so valuable. To the point where I changed 10 kilometers an hour, which is like 6 or 7 miles per hour for you American guys. Not much. And it changed everything. It made getting to the zone just a little bit more comfortable. It was so critical to be on the right line with the perfect wheel speed prior that if you're off at all, you can't recover. But with this wheel speed, I can just like kind of float out a little bit better. All in all, great practice, learned tons. I haven't done a track like this one. Actually, I have done similar ones, but the bank's really steep, the track's really small. You have to really nail when you come out of the bank. If you want to hit that inner clip right, you got to come off at the right time, and if you mess it up, you're screwed. Kind of everything matters, and it's really fun once you get it. Car's working really well now that we fixed a couple things. Nitrous bottle, so much better. We can change it like that. Pull the pin, undo the thing, amazing. So we're going to chill out at our Airbnb after we do a once over on the car, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
What are you going over?
Literally everything.
Oh.
Yeah, making sure fluids are full, exhaust bolts are tight. We lost the exhaust a couple times yesterday from someone board sliding it. Car was actually great. Definitely just dialing in the camber on this wheel was a big thing. Just perfecting that wear pattern on the tire to get the best contact patch. We fiddled around with a bit, and then at the end of the day, once we got confidence level up and we're actually getting to the up end of the track, we found that we needed like a little bit more wheel speed, so we ended up changing the gear ratio once, better, and then last night we made an executive call to bump up again to another 10 kilometers an hour. So 2 gear changes at the end of the day, but I think that'll really give us the opportunity when we're at the top to be able to dial in the speed, not be just bouncing off the rev limiter and needing like a slight bit more to get to the top. So now we have that little bit of room to work with. Yeah, going over nut and bolt check so far everything's tight. Just compress the exhaust a bit more to make sure it stays together all day, topped up fluids. Nut and bolt check, and car's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it is.
Okay, day 2, we're about to go into practice after Pro-Am. As you can see, there's a ton of high-level cars and drivers, even in the Pro-Am. We just finished the driver's meeting, we made a quick gear change, bolt checked the car, we're ready to go for practice. My fault. Nice and easy. Okay, Jack, you got lots of runs, we got lots of GoPro, practice is officially done. Ton of practice here, that's the thing with DMCC as well. I've done probably 20 laps or maybe more, I don't know. The tires are lasting decent. They have pretty good grip. Done a bunch of chases, done a bunch of leads, so qualifying is next. Yeah, so we were just able to refine some things and we're going into qualifying. So you guys are gonna see how that goes. Hopefully well, put ourselves in the higher position is where we'd like to be, and then battles, and also DMCC is all in one day. Morning to evening, they end at night. They love night drifting. for the big show for the fans. So it's gonna be a good night. Hopefully a long day. Oh, the roll. Ready? Ready for qualifying?
I think I'm supposed to ask you that.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's find out. Yeah, qualifying went well. We got 4th place qualifying. We got an 82. Like, I just extended zone 1 a little too long, and then it messed everything up down the road. Everyone still said it was a really sick run, lots of commitment, so that's why the score was still pretty high. But 4th place is good. If you're 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, benefits to those scores are all the same because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The idea is that 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th don't see each other until the end, so it really doesn't matter what place you get as long as you're in the top 4. So we did that. Going to ceremonies and then we're going into battle, which this is going to be a good night. Picking up all the rubber from other cars.
Oh my god. You build a whole other tire out of that.
Look at the inside, like this is crazy. We did like a pretty high qualifying score lead, and then I don't know, Chris told me in the chase he was fairly behind. Yeah, so now we have top 8 against the FDF driver. He was actually running FDF as well. Then another FDF driver after us. We're definitely looking to be in here for a long night. So the car's good. Chris is just peeling rubber off. It's crazy how much rubber we're picking up on a bank track. The bank just heats up the inside, I guess, yeah, your lead wheel on the front. and it just eats the tire. It heats it up so much because basically all the driving force of the rear is pushing through the one front tire. The other one's not really doing anything. It's just kind of dragging and hanging out. So things are going well, car's feeling good, and we're on the top 8. Okay, so we have a couple difficult things to discuss regarding the ending of DMCC. The first one would be the battle with Jonathan Guitard. Out of the gate, there's definitely faults of mine that are regarding the aggression and everything else, engaging how to battle somebody like him. There's also something to be said about all the videos that I gathered off the live stream and comparing them from run to run and looking at how he was doing his initiation. It's a very short run up, so you have to essentially floor it towards the initiation. Some guys did a little step initiation, other guys did a straight line handbrake. He was more so floored and then power over into a drift. Nothing crazy, nothing too large. Some guys were doing pretty large sweeps. Anyways, consistently doing the same thing, and he is very fast on the run up. So with all of that in mind, they did have a crossover line. We basically made small contact just after the crossover line. You know, a lot of the things going through my mind were like, in order to win a battle at this level in the top 4, you have to be on the door as aggressive as possible with all the best opportunities that you could get. One small incident to look back on to showcase how big of a deal this is was against Jessen, the Skyline. When he took off, he had a hesitation. I believe it was due to his throttle body, and that very, very small hesitation made me hesitate in the chase, and then created a 3 to 4 car gap on the chase and on the run up. And due to that issue, which was his fault, which the judges did not see, that was actually a one more time, because they registered that as me just getting gapped off the line. When the flagger moved, he had a hesitation and a delay. I was about to, I would have basically passed him. Just as a point of how important that is on the run-up with how short this run-up is, that's just gonna give you an example of how it went the other way, and it created a situation where I would have either one more timed or lost due to that very small section of the course, which is the initiation. Always the most important. So basically, I did not want to give him that opportunity. He's always been fast. Basically, against him, when I launched, I was pedaling my car, so I was not floored. And immediately at the crossover, he drove down, and that's where we made contact. Was not big contact, and he did not continue to drift after he felt the touch of the car. You could argue safety, you could argue all of these other things. There was no attempt to continue to drift. This has been referenced in Formula Drift, where very famously Adam made contact with Matt Field and Adam stopped drifting, and then Adam actually lost because he did not attempt to complete the run. It was determined that the judges ruled him out due to lack of commitment. All of this said, this particular run, I'll take the shared fault. I think that it should have been basically a redo or something, but obviously I'm biased towards myself getting an opportunity to actually compete and race. The biggest thing to take away is that if we are to reward and favor drivers, if I'm in the chase position and I am forced to be cautious all of the time, you're not going to get a good show out of the production of the event. So that leads me into my next battle, which was against Dave Winman. Basically, we lost that one too. On the initiation, I gave him the space. He's also very fast on the run-up. When he initiated, he just simply did not get on the gas for a long time. You could set a little timer, Jack, on the video. 1, 2, maybe 2.5 seconds. It was almost half the bank. I had nowhere to go. I've never held my brakes, held my handbrake, and pushed them through the floor this hard before. In the chase, especially in a full throttle zone. So when I hit the car, his car, it actually broke his side skirt off. That side skirt shot under my car. It left marks on the track and all kinds of crazy stuff. But we both stayed in it. I basically straightened and then reinitiated behind him after hitting an impact. We did the full battle. I gapped him by a lot. You'll see in the video on my lead. And then I had the loss. So when I talked to the judges after the event, they had told me that they thought my car broke and that I made an error contacting him, and that the marks on the track were from a DB tire of mine, which doesn't make any sense because I did my second run. Marks on the track were actually from his car. The reason I hit his car was because he did not get on the throttle, and you'll see he was not even in the entire zone of the first bank. He was actually super shallow, so there would be an argument there if he initiated and then he filled the whole zone and I hit him. Okay, well, there's no reason for me to be hitting him if he was full throttle in the full zone. And if I hit him, that's totally my fault. But if he is shallow and not on throttle and I hit him in a full throttle zone, again, if you want a good show, the chase car has to trust that the lead car is going to be doing his role in the full throttle zone, filling the entire zone. And if I have to lock up all 4 of my tires for an extended period of time in a full throttle zone and then make contact, it is not the chase car's fault. We don't think we lost these. We were running extremely strong at this track. We never had really any issues with the layout. We were just working on refining very small aspects of the track. The judges said they want immediate throttle. We got on immediate throttle. They said they don't want handbrake into sector 2 or outer bank 2 or whatever you want to call it. I was the only driver not handbraking into this zone. The judges are laying out a certain criteria, and if the lead car is not fulfilling that criteria to the maximum potential, the lead car is at fault. Even if the lead car is handbraking in sections that they say not to, there was actually no real decel zone on this layout. It was only momentum change zones, because the whole thing is basically full throttle. I was doing this layout without touching the handbrake, full throttle the entire time. So it was possible. Anyways, it's not the way that we want to end an event. We're not usually ones to, complain about judges' calls. This is a judge sport. This is all of that. But when points are on the line for a championship, money, sure, but a podium finish for us looks a lot better on a resume, essentially, if you're finishing top 3. It's all actually quite important for the future of where I'm going to be going with the program. And to clearly not get a win when we won, even having the other drivers, spotters, and drivers themselves wondering how they won, it just begs to question. So the series itself is incredible. The people and the fans, it was sold out with line of maybe another 500 to 1,000 people waiting to get in, and they were actually denied because the facility couldn't hold any more people. Everything was amazing in that regard. If you make it to top 4, you get to drive all the way into the night, because basically you do a 3rd place battle. So we got to experience all of the drama, all of the fans, all of the stuff that's going on. But I think there's something to be said and worked on in regards to judges' replays, judges' views, judges' perspectives. I don't think they could hear the cars or see them very well from their point in this track. I think they should have been like on the inside or something. But it was really obvious in Jack's video footage and in my in-car footage. We're not one to protest. I've never protested in 7 years of competing, so I wasn't really feeling like I wanted to break that cycle now. But when something is as clear as we feel it is, we're going to have to mention it. So that's basically it. We will be doing another round. This one's at Montmagny. It's again another 6-7 hour drive, but a really, really fun, fast, technical track. One of the coolest things about DMCC is that these tracks, all of them, are higher caliber, faster, more complicated, and just better in general than most of the FD or Drift Masters tracks. So giving some perspective on that, that's really cool to see through Jack's lens. Anyways, see you on the next one. I'm out.